Oh, I have a big surprise for someone. Ira, where you at? You want to come up here, Ira? Give Ira a big hand. How you doing?
Wonderful.
You're going to be my first hot seat.
I love it.
You like that?
I love it.
Pull up a chair.
At my age, it's wonderful to be in a hot seat.
So let's put up his website. Up at the top in the banner above, it says No Harm Advocate. And then underneath it says the alternative to sue or forget it. The headline says, the practice of medicine is the least regulated economic activity in America. Medical malpractice is driving up the cost of our health care. Would you like to learn how to lower the cost of your health care? And then there's a little opt-in box to the right. Just enter your first name and primary email address below, and the revolutionary program to change healthcare is yours absolutely free. There's an audio that comes on and actually plays, auto-plays when you get to the website. With Ira talking, we won't play that for you. And then in the middle, there's a box that says, if you want to, and then there are some check boxes, reduce the cost of your healthcare, make doctors more responsible, separate the good doctors from the bad doctors, change healthcare. We can change that together. My program will show you how. And then there's some other things here. So I want to ask you a couple. I can do that. You can do all that?
I can.
All right, that's good to know. So can you do me a favor and kind of idealize, describe your ideal prospect to me?
My ideal prospect is basically everyone in America, because doctors, hospital administrators, legislators, and average people are exceedingly frustrated with the healthcare system. And that is because no one has really attempted to understand how our healthcare system is configured at this time and how it evolved into that flawed configuration.
I can tell you have some energy around your topic. Tell me about the prospect, and I'm going to challenge you to specificity.
All right.
One of the things that we're going to talk about later in the program is narrowing your niche instead of widening it. One of my favorite sayings, man who chases 2 rabbits catches none. From
I've done that.
From Confucius, you've chased 2 rabbits?
As a youth, growing up in Tennessee.
I can tell. Well, you're doing it as an adult in Los Angeles right now, too. You're repeating your patterns. Let's pick one person. Who's the person that would have the biggest frustration, the biggest problem, the biggest need right now?
The person who has dealt with our current healthcare system and is mystified as to why someone living in this country would be left with how confusing and frustrating it is.
Okay, so we have a lot of work to do on the narrowing that niche down. Still being a problem child, but we'll skip over that. Let's just say, so that's good though. It's someone that's dealt with the healthcare industry. They've been through the run of the mill and they've been frustrated by it. They've had a bad experience. Okay.
Yes.
Can we give them a name?
Emil.
Emil.
We're sticking with these.
You're a creative cuss, aren't you? Yeah. Okay. Now, how do they feel right now? How's this person feeling inside?
They're feeling angry. They're feeling frustrated. They're feeling confused. And
what's one of their fears?
That no one seems to be reaching out and trying to address the problems that they see wherever they look.
Okay, good. Now, what's one of the irrational thoughts or fantasies that's going through their head?
That nothing's ever going to get better.
Okay. Give me something more specific, more tangible in their life.
That everything they hear is not being spoken in a positive and constructive manner. That all they hear is more idealistic rhetoric and nothing specific.
I need you to be more specific, like tell me about someone who has a specific problem, like a condition, and then a specific thing that's happening to that person. Give me one.
Simple.
Give me a common one.
The person that's gone in and had something as common as a total hip procedure, and 2 or 3 weeks later, when they've seen other people who have had these and get along rapidly and well, and they're having problems, and no one's giving them real answers regarding their problems.
Okay, so you're talking about someone who has a hip replacement.
And
Two
they
to three
got
weeks,
problems.
2 to 3 weeks later, they're having problems.
Yes.
And then they find people who didn't have those problems,
Sure.
and they're now saying, why am I having problems, and they didn't.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good. So now we're getting specific. And this
All
is
right.
important because if you say to me, if you've had a hip replacement, had it not work out, and we'll fine-tune and wordsmith the words later, and then found out that there are other people that had hip replacements and they worked out, and you're really frustrated and now you're mad as hell,
Sure.
I need to talk to you.
Exactly.
That's going to connect with me. I'm going to say, he's talking to me. It's specific enough. If you say to me, have you ever had a problem with the healthcare industry and now you're mad as hell, no one's going to listen because it's too general. It's too big. It's not specific enough. Does that make sense?
That's where I've been the last 3 years.
Okay. I couldn't tell.
I've lived with it, I can tell. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm here.
So let me ask you this question. Let's say I had a hip replacement. It was a few weeks ago.
Sure.
Now I'm having problems, and I'm out on the internet. I'm looking around. I'm like, hip replacement. I had some challenges, whatever. You know what? Let's skip the internet. We'll go back there in a second. What's something you could tell someone that's had a hip replacement surgery 2 to 3 weeks ago that's now having problems that will help them quickly, instantly fix their problem? What could you tell them?
There's nothing, from my perspective, that is available that would instantly, quickly fix their problem unless those who can start addressing how to deal with such problems in a different way.
Okay, time out. There is something that someone who had a hip replacement 2 to 3 weeks ago can do to start fixing the problem immediately. There is something.
Oh, sure.
Give me something.
Get a second opinion or see someone that will attempt to deal with that problem.
Okay, time out for a sec. Let's say that there are probably doctors who are specialists in dealing with people who had hip replacement surgeries 2 to 3 weeks ago and they're now experiencing problems.
Yeah.
They're probably doctors that specialize in that.
Other orthopedic surgeons.
Okay, and it's probably maybe, let's just say, a different kind, or how about a more experienced one, or a more ethical one, or one that lives in a certain state, or one that operates under a certain code of conduct that most of them don't, or one that agrees to something, or one that had a certain type of training. There's something.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I don't care what the technique is. Let's just call it Technique X, just to, depersonalize it. But it is there.
Yes.
Now, if I came to your website and this said at the top, none of this banner with these graphics or anything, in big bold quotes, in big bold letters with quotes, it said, if you have had a hip replacement surgery within the last 2 to 3 weeks and now you're experiencing problems, this is the most important message you will ever read. And then underneath it said, there is one technique that you can implement right now that will get you on track to fixing your hip replacement problems. If you would like me to email this technique to you right now, enter your name and email address in the box. You will get a high opt-in rate. I can almost guarantee it.
I'd be arrested. I was never an orthopedic surgeon. I didn't do hip replacements, so I shouldn't give that advice. I was just using that as an example.
No, you're not going to give them the advice. You're going to tell
Okay.
them to find the type of expert. Does that make sense? I don't get
Yeah.
away from the content. Forget the content.
Okay.
You with me?
I'm with
What I'm
you.
talking to your prospect about their specific situation and promising them an instant result in return for getting their name and email address. That's the formula.
Okay.
You can fill in hip replacement surgery with
All right.
hives or acne or common cold
Sure.
or anything.
Okay.
I
get it.
You're promising them, you know something. You have a piece of information that you
I
can
do.
give them that instantly can get them closer to the result they want. And if they will give you their name and email address, you will send it to them or show it to them right now. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you talk to everybody and you say, have you ever had, who's learning something right now? Raise your hand. Good. Have you ever had, oh, good.
Sorry about that.
Have you ever had a bad experience with the medical care industry? Of course, everybody has. But it's so common, it's so ubiquitous that there's no impact. It's old hat. If I had a hip replacement surgery and it's painful, I don't know, I mean, maybe I know a few people that had hip replacement surgeries, but I don't know a lot. And I only know maybe one or two that really had problems. And I'm desperate to find solutions. Mm-hmm. I am at the right level of specificity right now. Does this make sense?
Yes.
I would recommend, if you want to start, and I'm only going to talk about building a list. We don't have time to get too deep into what, how to go even deeper with this, and build a relationship. But if you want to start building a list, you need to make an avatar for the one largest, highest pain niche within this world, and then make a customer avatar for them. So let's say, I don't know what it is, but I'll bet cancer is a pretty big one. Cancer is a lot of pain and urgency. There are a lot of people that get cancer. Heart disease, problems with children. Parents are very motivated to solve health problems with children.
Obstetrical problems, feminine problems.
So I'll bet you that if you created 10 websites that had the same formula.
Lord.
No.
Yeah.
I could do this. I could go get on my computer right now, and in an hour, I could have it done. It's so simple to create. You write a sentence, that's the headline, and then you write the sentences that are the bullets, and then you write the technique out.
Oh, wow.
Okay? And if you really are super lazy, you sign up for Copy Talk for $59 a month, whatever it is, and you just call them on the phone and you say the words and then they email you the text, all you can eat. By the way, I don't get anything for this, but if you go to copytalk.com/altitude, write that down, copytalk.com/altitude, and like I said, I just called them up and said, I talk to audiences and I want them to have your service, and they don't give a lot of discounts, but they did give a $10 discount, and I think you get a free month if you sign up for 3 or something like that, but you get a discount. You get $10 a month off. I think it's $49.95. Copytalk.com/altitude. You can call this number up on the phone, and you can speak for up to 4 minutes, which will give you, page of text, 4 minutes at a time, and you can keep calling back. You can keep doing the 4-minute things for as much as you want, and then within 24 hours, they send you an email with the text in it. This is how hard it is. You could just sit down and make a little outline and dictate it, the way a lot of people write books. I've gotten off on a tangent. I've distracted the hell out of myself. Now, where was I? So if you created 10 websites.
10 websites.
10 landing pages.
10 landing pages.
And all they had was a headline that said, if you've experienced this problem and you'd like to get a solution that'll help get you on the right track instantly, right now, enter your name and email, and I'll either show it to you or email it to you. And they were for the 10 largest audiences in healthcare. You'd probably pick up about 60 or 80% of the market because, the bell curve, or not the bell curve, but the long tail and the head and the distribution curve. And when one of those people saw your website, they'd say, this is for me. I need to get this right now. And that little piece, that little technique, that little piece of information you're trading will probably increase the rate of your opt-in by a minimum of 100%, and based on what I see here, probably 1,000%. It will probably 10x the opt-in rate that you'll experience because you've created an avatar for that particular customer. You're talking in their language, and you're promising them something that they can do right now, a piece of information, in exchange for something that you want, which is their name and email address, so you can follow up with them later. And then, now, we don't have time to dig into it at this point, but then what you'd want to do is create a series of follow-up emails for each of those audiences that you can put into an autoresponder system and have delivered cheaply and just automatically, that would educate them and would build a relationship with them and say, oh, and by the way, you'd email them a week later and say, Dear Susie, I'm just writing, it's Ira, I'm just writing to see how the hip is doing. I've got another tip for you. Do this. Does that make sense?
Sure. Great sense.
Excellent. And if you do that, what will happen is the prospects, I think anyway, will probably feel a lot more understood by you because they will think they will have that feeling of, wow, this is someone that gets me, they understand. Just saying in a headline, if you've had a hip replacement within the last 2 to 3 weeks, and now you're experiencing problems, is the most important message you'll ever read. Just saying, that's it. It's all you need to do when someone's in pain and urgency. They're going to go, oh my God, there are other people that have had this happen, and this person knows what to do. You'll probably have one of the highest landing page opt-in rates of anyone in internet marketing history.
Sounds wonderful.
It does sound good, and I sure hope it works.
I do too.
All right, Ira, thank you for playing along.
Thank you very much.
There you go. Who learned something in that last session? Raise your hand. Okay, good. I love that. You just keep giving me rounds of applause back there. Do you guys remember that in Coming to America, where he was sitting there and he's like, Randy Watson, section with chocolate. That boy good. That's what I mean when I say Randy Watson, by the way. So now we have a little insight. Okay, good. Who would like to share what their aha was and then how they can go apply it immediately to make more money?
First name is Heather DeWeese, and right now living in Austin, Texas.
How are you, Heather?
Hey, how are you?
Thanks for being here.
Good to see you again. One thing I learned from this particular overall session is the avatar, and it's okay to eliminate. So when I began to look at my target market, I really wanted to, it got narrow, and I go, but I should, other people could. But it's okay to eliminate and allow yourself to really go deep versus saving the world type of thing. So when you name the person, I named mine, and when I named the person and got in their shoes, I began to actually feel what they wanted and that specific kind of person, down to the age, down to the generations, a different generation than me, down to their thoughts and desires, which is completely distinct from me because it's a male and because they're 25 years older. So when I got to that and allowed myself to eliminate other people, it felt good and a little nerve-wracking.
Good.
That was it.
So did you hear that? She learned it's okay to narrow. It's okay to narrow. Do you like it when people say to you, oh yeah, I've worked with people like you. I've got a standard process that I put them through. You think your kids would respond well if you came home and said, you know, children are supposed to clean up their rooms. But that's what you're doing when you're casting a wide net to everybody out there in the world. Just sending your message out there. One more thing.
Yes, when you described the avatar person, but then when you describe the avatar business, I know we haven't kind of gone down that per se, but that just clicked with me. For some reason, I got so focused on the target market, and then, okay, now the person, I forgot to begin to say, what is the avatar, in your case, say avatar business? What's the ideal business that avatar persons I can connect with and go after? And it's not really what usually we possibly think. When I started to think about like an older male in that genre, it's not what I'm reading. So I have to go after that and start to rethink my business strategy on who I'm going to be speaking to in different business ventures and strategic alliances. So that was nice.
Good one. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, my name's Jamie Minton, and I had an interesting aha. As a marketing consultant, I can do exactly what you did for a client, but then I find that I'm making the same general, being too vague mistakes with my own business. And my big takeaway was that when a lot of us get into business, it's, as was clear with Ira, you probably had a personal experience with the medical industry that caused you to want to pursue this. And I think a lot of us have that. And the business I'm in is because of a severe pain that I experienced and wanted to help others fix. And I think a lot of us, when we feel that pain, we don't want to connect with it as much as we need to connect with the pain and, you know, who we're communicating with. So I realized that I just kind of have to get in touch with that. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.